Hey guys, it's Oliver from Spitfire Audio with an in action for our Mandolin Swarm library. This library is literally for everyone, from producer to songwriter to composer, and the sounds of the library are actually featured on some of the biggest records out there right now, as well as of course TV and film productions. As the name already implies, we've put 19 mandolin and actually as well charango players into the hall at Air Studios, and one of the biggest features is they play tremolo all together. And the result sounds like this. Pretty epic and magical sound. So if you'd like to see what else is in the library, please check out Paul's walkthrough and also check out Christian's hidden gem. He'll explain you a little bit about the story of how this library was developed. In this tutorial, we'll be looking at a composition I've recorded just recently. So it's mainly just some piano chords, and I show you how you can color in those chords using the Mandolin Swarm and a couple of other libraries. Just to mention, the Mandolin Swarm offers other patches as well as smaller ensembles, chords, plucks as well. I'm just going to play them for you here so you can see it. And the really cool feature is as well, you can vary the speed for your tremolos. So let's see, with low speed, I've assigned my speed here to one of the MIDI faders here. Really amazing feature. Also, you've got the galleries, so we've put some player up in the galleries at Air Studio, so you get a really wide and breathy kind of sound. Right, let's dive into my composition. I'm just going to play you those chords of my composition 8864, so you get an idea. Cool, it repeats there, and then this is the outro of this piece. And I just thought I want to arrange it a little bit as if it could be a cue for, let's say, a TV drama. And I've come up with this. I'm just going to play you the whole thing arranged, and then we'll dive into the details. So I'm leaving a little bit of space here, 4 bars, before I come in with my piano. And I'm creating this aleatoric atmosphere here. I'm using the chords, major 7. I'm using the gallery here. So I want to create, as I said in the beginning, this breathy, kind of spacious atmosphere. Wow, really, really wonderful sound there. Just to show you, we have also, for example, triads, major chords. Or minor 9, for example. So aleatoric we have here, major or minor, just to give you an example. Very unique texture there. So putting it back to major 7. Right, then I'm coming in with the big ensemble. I'm also using a little bit of external reverb in case you're curious. Just very standard VSS3 here, large warm hole setting. Sounds pretty sweet. Then here a bit of plate, UID lexicon 224. And I'm just sending, if we dive into here, slightly different amounts depending on the instrument. The low range usually slightly less bass, so it doesn't get all washed out. So I have a bass, which I'll show you in a bit, and I'm sending less reverb there. So here, big ensemble trem, just coming up here with the intro. And the chords actually are pretty simple. B flat major 7 to G minor. And back and forth. So I'm choosing here 2 notes that kind of work over both the chords, D and F. And I think that's one of the strengths of this mandolin library, is actually to create a bit of tension or just like a wonderful bed, and creates a little bit of warmth within your composition, and don't do actually much changes, unless of course you're using the plucks, which implies shorts anyway. It's just very subtle. Even just this is really wonderful. So that was my main idea. And then I wanted to bring in some strings. I'm using here Oliver Arnold's Chamber Evolutions, slowly turning to one of my favorite library here. It just jumps out of the box just absolutely wonderfully. Don't really need to say much to this. Just going to play you those combinations here. The swarm, the strings and the piano. And then these waves are at different lengths. So now I'm choosing really long swells, and to create a little bit of interest, I'm also adding some shorter waves here. So long waves here, now short again. Then I'm bringing in the bass, just to add a bit of low ends and make it a little more epic there on the E flat major, which elevates the whole composition. So I'm using just the chamber strings, long spaces, using close mic for definition in the low ends there. And again, very little reverb. Actually, no vibrato usually down there either. Bit of panning as well to widen the stereo field. And very simple, just following my root notes there. Just chord-wise here, I'm going to A flat, major 7, E flat, and then kind of modulating there on a D flat. Just letting it play again for you. Sounds quite nice there, stealing a chord from the relative minor scale. And then the other idea I had was to double up my strings with these tremolandos. And that sounds pretty nice as well, if I just play those two. So I'm playing exactly the same chords, and it just adds a little bit of interest to those strings. A little tickle. And then a single note there to keep the tension up, just a C. And the difference here, when I double up my strings, so these strings I have them quite, I use the tree mic and they're quite reverby, and these tremolos here I'm using the close mic a little bit, just to add a little bit of definition into the chord as well, and bring the texture of those mandolin tremolandi forwards. Then here in the end, I'm using the major triad. I actually already showed you this patch, but just again to listen to it. Just to end the piece pretty quietly. And far away again, I'm using the gallery mic to create that depth and touch more reverb than on the other patches. And then just to add a little bit of interest, and the oboe and the horn for me always a very TV drama kind of sound. So I've added a little bit of a melody and enhanced those chord changes with the oboe here. Spitfire symphonic woodwinds, legato, a little bit of close mic because it's a solo instrument. And then the horn, euphone from Albion 2, always a very beautiful texture as well. And the oboe quickly. For now, with a vibrato all the way up for it to be really espressivo. If we just play a little bit of those two together. Muting the strings. And now the piano repeats what the oboe plays. Cool, thank you very much for watching and listening. I hope you'll get to enjoy the Mandolin Swarm as well. I'll play you the whole piece again. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section and we're happy to help you. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye bye.